Yes, good to know that you're still there with us this morning. Yes, the social media, the conventional media are all awash with the news of insecurity, and of course the government at every level, both the federal and the states, are not you know are not they are fighting it head on when it concerns insecurity. No one is sleeping. No government is giving any chance to insecurity. And Edo State is also not spared when it concerns talking about insecurity. And this morning we deem it fit to look at insecurity where it concerns the national, bringing it down to how it concerns Edo State. And we already have a guest in the studio. He's our regular. He's also a key player when it concerns talking about security. He's a chief superintendent of police, retired, but of course not tired, because he's always at the forefront, at forefront fighting this insecurity, talking about it, profiling solution on daily basis. Is David Ogba. Is also a legal practitioner. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much.
We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And anytime we're talking about insecurity, you always oblige us, giving your expertise and solutions on how to curb this menace.
It's my sincere pleasure.
Welcome, sir, and also compliment of the season.
Same with you.
Welcome, sir. So before we forge ahead on our discussion fully this morning, let's take this background down.
Of the topmost priorities of every nation. This is so as no nation can experience meaningful growth. Security of lives and property is one of the topmost priorities of every nation. This is so as no nation can experience meaningful growth and development without strong security. Although crime cannot be totally eliminated as it is naturally part of the society, it can be reduced to the barest minimum. Why then has this not been achieved in Nigeria, as the country keeps experiencing high rate of insecurity, especially kidnapping? Despite the federal government's lauded strategies, most worrisome of it all is the regular adoption of school children and religious worshippers in places of worship. Edo State is having her own fair share, despite the state government's huge efforts in stemming down the tide. What best strategies then should be deployed by security agencies and other stakeholders to chase away these perpetrators and make Edo State too hot for them? Midweek Connect will be featuring a security expert cum lawyer to speak on the matter, even as Nigeria has a new Minister of Defense, all geared towards the fight against insecurity. Do call in during the phone-in segment to make your contribution as we treat the topic, high rate of insecurity.
Thank you, Rosemary, for that background. I know, CSP, that government at every level, the federal government, the state government, are not leaving anything to chance, and they are not, of course, resting on their oar in this fight against insecurity. But it seems the more they are fought, the more they spring up. So, what's your take on this mass wave of insecurity in the country? Let's start from the country first before we now tickle down to how it affects us here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here. Insecurity is a very, very, very vital discussion that is trending, in the psyche of even the novice, anybody in this society. And the latest thing that happened was when a man look at the face of another man and say, you are a CPC, you are a country of particular concern. That is, very direct. That was very direct. And it gave everyone in this country a cause for concern. Because Nigeria being a sovereign nation, we don't anticipate that kind of thing could happen. How could a sovereign nation be bluntly, abused?
You're talking about
Donald Trump.
The
Donald
president
Trump.
of
Yes. And afterwards, I believe that every Nigerian at that time go back to his closet to think about it, to say, was it really true that Nigeria is a country of particular concern? Because that designation is really very insultive. Does it mean that there have been some kind of coloration in a national security that even the Nigerian government is not aware, that an outsider has to point out? So many questions came into my mind, particularly.
Okay.
Yes. I began to think so many things. But even then, there was this impunity, which was the escalation of that insecurity which Donald Trump was talking about, in reference to International Religious Freedom Act. And that has consummated to the present scenario we are witnessing.
Really? You're trying to say that pronouncement by Trump culminated to this incessant
yes. But that doesn't mean that the sin or the past has been forgiven, because there have been fire before the outcry.
So are you not looking at CSP? Are you not looking at if you say it was maybe the statement from Trump that could allegedly be causing or putting flame to already fire, how will you now look at the reshufflement of service chiefs by the president? Didn't you look towards that direction? Probably that was the reason why this we are having this mass insecurity, wave of insecurity in the country.
The last time we were here, I equivocally stated that the reshufflement or the appointment of new service chief could portend good or evil for the nation, and it has to do with the intention, the particular intention of the government by making that appointment. And obviously, after that appointment, there have not been a cease, or a decline to the insecurity in the nation. Rather, it has been elevated. It has gone to an elevated level now, and that we tell you that what I said was like a prophecy, and it wasn't because Donald Trump did the wrong thing, because in fact, it's even we should even appreciate our concern. We should appreciate his concern over the situation in Nigeria, because it's a good neighborliness or a good neighbor that could actually ask you be concerned with the situation at your home front. Okay. For instance, if you are dragging with any of your brothers or even
somebody, your neighbor can come in to
your neighbor can come in to assist. It's a good neighbor that can come in to assist.
Okay.
So Donald Trump, I want to use this opportunity to say thank you. You did the right thing.
Okay.
Now, about how the Nigerian government manage the situation is what matters now, and the ball is now on the court of our president to see what he can do to ensure that what led to that international outcry
Concern.
is put to the barest minimum and abated. That is my take on it.
Okay, so what will you say concerning this nomination of former chief of defense staff, Musa, General Musa? The nomination will happen today. Do you think is also part of the nomination in a Senate will happen today? So don't you think is one of those actions that the president is taking to make sure that the insecurity is
I think
curtailed?
the nomination of the General Musa
as a finance minister,
defense minister,
yeah,
it was by reason of the resignation of the former chief of army defense staff on head ground, so to say. That was what we are told, but the truism depends on the ever looking eyes, which is divine, the supreme God, to know whether it's whatever. But that wouldn't be the intent. I think the president, Bola, his team president, has been doing some things to turn the hand on the table, so to say, by so many definite and drastic policy changes. For instance, the declaration of state of emergency on security in the nation, and the action that the police and the army should recruit more personnel to embattle the security, and the withdrawal of police personnel from the very important person VIPs in this nation to have an ad hoc training to combat those who are in the bushes, in the forests, forming banditry and terrorism. So to say, the president has done some policy formulation, but that is not all.
Okay.
That is not all.
Okay.
We are looking for a drastic change of momentum in the security apparatus.
Because I'd wanted to ask if General Musa is actually the right personnel to be the minister of defense, because looking at that portfolio is just for policy making. He will not give direct, as in you shouldn't go to the president direct. That it has to be done with the person that foresees defense and defense architecture. So what is your take, as in being the defense minister and not actually going to be the main person that will foresee the defense of this country?
The appointment of General Musa is very sensitive, so to say. The appointment of every minister of defense for the nation is very sensitive, so to say, because any pronouncement he makes as a minister has a very grave repercussion. Look at the pronouncement the former minister made during the attack on the school pupils.
Okay, you're talking about whatever any pronouncement positively.
Negatively.
Let's look at it positively.
Yes.
His pronouncement will it affect positively to national security?
Yes.
As a minister,
if it's done with good intention.
Okay.
It's because he's running the ministerial security apparatus of the country, so he has much to do in terms of policy direction and directive dimension of security governance in the country. For instance, most of his pronouncement can have weight on the psyche of the operatives in the field.
Okay.
You understand? And most of his action could either make or mar the positive performances.
Okay, we are not looking at the mile, we are looking at the merits alone.
Course.
So let's bring it down to Edo State. The governor, in his bid to fight insecurity, kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism, has already launched Operation Flush Out, provided up to 400 motorbikes to security personnel and every other measures, to fight insecurity. So what's your take? And it seems the more the governor, for example, is trying to fight them, the more they come out, because Edo State recently have been in the news about kidnapping. You see the one, or I don't know if they've already been released. They abducted a couple, they were adopted in their house, and so many other kidnapping cases. Though people are saying, and some people are alleging, that most of them are really most of this information, especially on the new media, are coming out from they are fake. When you talk about fake and misinformation. But what's your take on the security of Edo State? Do you think the governor is doing enough?
Well, to me, it can never be enough until the whole security opprobrium is brought to calmness. Except there is a shift, positive shift for that matter, in the security of Edo State. I will never say the governor has done much. He could do well by the actions he has taken so far. I know he meant, or he means well, so to say, for the people of Edo State. But looking at the general scenario of the security challenges in our nation today, all hands must be on the depth.
Like as a professional.
In the government house, because when you look at the exit points of Edo State, look at the Abraka Axis, look at the Ondo Axis, look at the Okene Kogi State Axis. You see, these are major areas of security concern. These are flashpoints that the governor has to direct his minds to, because these people, if there's going to be any attack, serious attack on the Edo State, is from that axis. And look at, even within Edo State, these axis where the genesis, where these people comes into the state, and are now creating hooliganism in the state. And if I said the governor means well for the state, and this is the time he has to display his loyalty to his
citizens,
to the citizens of Edo State.
Okay.
This is the time he has to take the bull by the horn. This is the time he has to do everything possible to ensure that an average Edo man sleep with his two eyes closed. And he must lend his voice to this ranging debates of state policing. State policing could be the only hope to salvage.
States, when you talk about state policing, it's not something, it has to go through processes. So before the state policing, where I'm looking at how do you see using technology, because most times when you see some of this, somebody can be, when you talk about the government or wherever, you can be tracked easily, but when it comes to, so many people are now saying that why is it that when it comes to this insecurity, these people living in the bushes, that they are not easily tracked? Though the government is doing so much, we might not really know the underground things that they do to salvage this situation. So what's your take on this, looking at technology and every other means that the government can
all right, let me give you an instance of what happened sometime in one of the, I don't want to mention the states, in the northern state, the governor said, we know where these terrorists are. They live within us. We know their fathers. We know their mothers. We know their children. Then they asked him, then what is stopping your government from getting these people arrested? He gave an excuse. He is not a security personnel. Now that was after the appointment of the new service chairs.
Okay.
So an average Edo man knows this forest, these terrorists and bandits are residing. An average Edo man knows the terrain these terrorists live in.
Okay.
So the governor being the chief security officer, the ball is on his court.
On his court, of course.
And that is the reason why we are talking about state policing.
Okay, of course, state policing,
yes.
You know, people, of course, when you see something, you say something.
Yes.
State policing has to do with community policing, living with the people, knowing who is who, and taking directive from the governor and not from the national. At this juncture, we want to call for number that you call to join us in this discussion this morning. Of course, we are discussing insecurity in the states. You know, if you have anything you want to tell, the guest here is a chief superintendent of police, though retired but not tired. You call in with this number 081 090 42594. 081-090-42594. You can send text messages. You can also reach out to us through the WhatsApp on that number. So CSP, we are talking about, so what do you, the areas you actually want, because like now is Christmas period, and most times during this period it seems as if this insecurity is heightened. You know, now you have kidnapping, you have a robbery, armed robbery, you have a burglar, a break and entry, you have a phone snatchers, so all pockets of insecurity. So what's your advice? What do you want the security personnel, you know, the police, the NCDC, the National Security and Civil Defense, the all other security outfits in the state to do to curtail this menace?
They should obey the instruction of the president.
What is the instruction of the president?
The president has directed that all security apparatus must be set on fire to ensure that those terrorists and bandits are captured and their actions are stopped. He even directed that there must be a withdrawal of all police officers who are presently serving with the Special Protection Unit, SPU, so that these people should be given ad hoc trainings and sent to combat the terrorists in the forest. And he has also instructed the director of state security services to also send his men as forest guards into the forest. And also he directed all security, both the army, the police, and everyone, to go headlong into the forest, set up forest guards in the forest, and know what exactly is happening, and flush out the bandits. If these actions are well taken into considerations, and mobilization, operational drive are given to it, and the fire is sustained, I believe this insecurity must be brought to the barest minimum. So I'm leading with the state governor, the commissioner of police Edo State, the director of state security services, men of civil defense, and all security apparatus in the state to go and deliver, so to say. Let our country be safe again.
Let our country be safe again. You talked as CSP, sir. You talked about attaching, withdrawal of policemen from VIPs, and many people will argue that this is not the first time the pronouncement will make, but we're talking about the implementation, how sustainable, because if you still go around town, you still see some of these VIPs, being, policemen even carrying their wives' bags. So why is it so difficult for the government to implement this law? Even every time any new government come in, the first pronouncement will be to withdraw policemen from VIPs, but at the end of the day you still see. So why is
I was at this base of the Special Protection Unit yesterday, and I met with the new commander, and when I was at the base, I saw men, real police officers on parade.
Okay.
Those were the ones that have been withdrawn from various VIPs in the states. I am telling you what I saw.
Is it that they were giving new training now, because they are like people coming to a new terrain now? Is it that when you saw them they were giving them training or what, or they are trying?
No,
to
they are being
data.
They are giving orientation because they have
Hello?
left.
Sorry, CSP. Hello? It's like we have a call.
Yeah. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, my guest in the studio.
Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
My name is Honorable Felix. I'm calling from Ijota Ward in Odenwon Local Government Area of Edo State.
Okay, Mr. Felix, thank you for joining us this morning.
What people have been discussing in the telly. You see, security of a team. Community policing is the best option to this insecurity we are talking about in Edo State. You see, we started this voluntary security services in my area in 2008. At that time, we had series of armed robbery incidents, burglary, and all the rest. So the audio we release of all the communities in my ward are simple, and they now are prepared to create and local vigilante registered by the police in our division, to be precise. So we've been securing our community without payment. But when Obaseki came, we united all security volunteers to be a two-state security network. So and things were going on fine. So during this, with the advent of this present administration now, I can see some political undertone in it. Because in our community here, before you are being enlisted into community policing here, the elders will make you to swear oath. If you aid our criminals, then you will die. But nowadays, we have seen many questionable characters they now employ into the system of the state security cost through political influence. People that have bad records in the society. How can that one not assist a criminal to lay mayhem on the popular? So please, if you want to make it effective, this community policy, security is not a thing that you politicize.
Thank you. Thank you. I've made your point, Mr. Felix.
They should send personnel to each community.
Okay.
And then nominate people they trust.
Okay.
Not people that are drug dealer and drug addict, rapists, even ex-convict, because they are your political party member.
Thank you.
It will not give you positive results.
Thank you, Mr. Felix.
That is what we are witnessing now.
Thank you.
So please tell them to go one by one, community by community. Let them give you people that will secure their community, not by imposing people that are loyal to the administration.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know, he made so many points that you started with talking about community policing. That is very important, that community policing is encouraged. That if is encouraged finally, security network in communities, that they should make sure that the people coming to be enrolled should be people, not people with a questionable character. You know, CSP, in the area of what the caller had just said, just 1 minute to round up, because we'll have a live program coming up on us, so we are rounding off before our closing time. So just less than 1 minute, your closing remarks, sir.
The statement or the opinion of the caller is a welcomed, quite welcome opinion, so to say, because you know the community policing has been the in thing for some time in the Nigerian police force. The Nigerian police force held it as sacrosanct at the point of its administrative livelihood, but at a point it waned.
It waned, and that is why callers is, unfortunately, callers are still calling. Yes. That's where we want to
but now we are now advocating that they should be state policing should be given the utmost attention now, so that those states individually could handle policing on their own, finance policing, drive men into the forest and flush out these bandits.
Of course, we are looking forward to the government heeding to the plea of people talking about community policing, you know, to flush out these miscreants that are giving people problem, especially this season. And this is where we'll call it a day on this program this week. Of course, callers are still calling. Keep a date with us next week when we come your way for another interesting topic. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye for now.
We are joining an unscheduled live